Welcome to the Explainer. You know, it's funny, have you ever stopped to think about what you're actually breathing in at work? We're about to dive into the invisible dangers hiding right under our noses, things like flour in a bakery or fumes from a paint can. And more importantly, we're going to talk about the crucial rules designed to keep us all safe. Let's get right into it.
All right, so let's start with a little thought experiment. What do flour dust, paint fumes, and cleaning sprays all have in common? I mean, think about it. You've got a busy workshop, a bakery, maybe just an office getting a deep clean. On the surface, those things, fumes, dust, sprays, seem completely different, right? But they actually share one pretty serious hidden connection.
Well, the answer is they can all be invisible dangers to your health at work. Every single one of them is considered a substance hazardous to health. And yeah, that means it can cause some serious harm if you breathe them in or get them on your skin. The crazy part is, this is all totally preventable. But first, we really need to get a handle on the scale of the problem we're dealing with here.
Okay, so let's talk about what that really means. We're not just talking about, a little cough or some itchy skin. Nope. We are talking about some truly devastating, life-altering illnesses, the kind that can sneak up on you years or even decades down the road. Get ready for this number. The British Safety Council estimates that a staggering 13,000 deaths every single year are linked to past exposure to harmful stuff at work. 13,000. To put that into perspective, that's like the entire population of a small town just gone, year after year. And the worst part? These were from hazards that could have been controlled.
And the damage, it can show up in a couple of different ways. Sometimes it's immediate, You feel dizzy from fumes or your eyes start stinging. But the real boogeyman here is the long-term damage. We're talking about things like lung disease, permanent skin damage, even cancer. And here's the truly terrifying part. A lot of these chronic conditions, once you have them, are incurable. There's no going back.
This is exactly why we can't just leave it to chance. This is why laws have to step in. To tackle these kinds of risks head-on, the UK has a very specific legal framework, and it's all designed to keep people safe at work.
It's called COSHH. Now that's an acronym for the Control of Substances Hazardous to Health. What it boils down to is this. It's a set of regulations that puts the responsibility squarely on employers to control any substance in the workplace that could be a danger to health. You could say it's pretty much a cornerstone of workplace safety. And I want to be crystal clear about this. This is not just some friendly advice or a best practice guideline. Nope. Breaking COSHH regulations is a crime. And that goes for both employers and employees. The penalties are really serious. We're talking unlimited fines because the potential for harm is it's that big a deal.
So, what does COSHH actually cover? This is really important because it's not a catch-all for everything. On one hand, it covers a huge range of things: chemicals, fumes, dusts, vapors, even biological agents like germs. But, and this is key, look at what it doesn't cover. Things like lead, asbestos, radioactive stuff, these are considered so uniquely hazardous that they actually have their own separate, even more stringent regulations.
All right, so if you're an employer, you might be thinking, okay, what do I actually have to do? The good news is, COSHH isn't vague about it. It actually lays out a pretty clear action plan for managing these risks. So let's break down the big steps. Okay, so the full official guidance has 8 steps, but you can really boil it down to these 4 core actions. Step 1, you've got to assess the risks. Basically, find out what the health hazards are in your workplace. Step 2, implement controls. This means putting measures in place to stop people from being harmed, like better ventilation or providing personal protective equipment, that's PPE. 3, you need to inform and train everyone. Make sure your workers totally understand the risks and how to follow safety procedures. And finally, step 4, monitor and plan. This means things like regular health checks and having a rock-solid emergency plan for when things go wrong, like a spill.
But here's the thing. This isn't just a top-down job. It's not all on the employer's shoulders. For this to really work, workplace safety has to be a partnership. It's a team effort where absolutely everyone has a part to play.
And you can see that partnership laid out pretty clearly right here. The employer's role: conduct those risk assessments, provide the right control measures and PPE, and deliver training. And the employee's role? Well, they have to follow the safety procedures, wear and take care of their PPE, report any accidents, and attend any health checkups. See? It's a two-way street. It only works if everyone is doing their part.
Okay, so that's all the what and the why. But what does this look like in practice? In the real world? How does this stuff actually make a difference in someone's life? Let's look at a perfect case study.
I want you to imagine this.
A hairdresser's hands were so painfully itchy they would scab over and bleed. This was his reality. He was diagnosed with something called irritant contact dermatitis, and it was caused by things you'd find in any salon: constant wet work and chemicals. It got so bad it was literally threatening his ability to do his job.
So what was the solution? His employer, following these exact COSHH principles, put a really simple plan into action. We're not talking about some expensive high-tech fix. Nope, they just brought in a simple hand care regime. That meant suitable gloves, moisturizers, and regular skin checks to spot any problems early.
And the result was incredible. These simple, totally inexpensive measures, they made all the difference in the world. He was able to manage his condition and, most importantly, keep doing the job he loved. That right there is a perfect, powerful example of COSHH in action. It shows how it can stop a health issue from completely derailing someone's life and career.
And beyond the obvious human benefit, which is of course protecting people's health and saving lives, following these regulations just makes good business sense. Think about it. A safer workplace means less absenteeism, it avoids the cost of having to replace trained workers, and it just leads to a more effective business overall. It's like they say, a healthy workforce really does mean a healthy bottom line.
So if there's just one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. Awareness is the first, most crucial step. It all starts with just seeing the risks. So I'll leave you with a final thought to mull over. What's one invisible risk in your workplace? A dust, a fume, a spray that you'll see a little differently